in our town, and they don't have to travel.
True.
So they're going to be saving money. They're going to be there, and they they're going to want to be at the hottest parties. Now, to my celebrity friends, forget y'all. This is to all my regular friends that are going to buy tickets. You want to go to a party and just do this, or you
Definitely not.
or you want to go to a party and go, is that Papa John's? Is that Roscoe's? Is that a lady swallowing a sword? Like, if you don't know anything about Shaq's Fun Houses, music and sports, they're coming together. Interactive games, circus performers, Lil Wayne, Zed, Diplo, DJ Irie, myself, DJ Miles O'Neal. It's just great time, great music, and a lot of my celebrity friends will be there. I'm already talking to them.
Especially because you spent the majority of your NBA career in LA. So does that give this year an extra if you will?
It does, because when I was living in LA, I actually had the title of the best party thrower ever.
Well,
Like
there you
Matt
go.
and those guys, they used to have some hot parties and Tom Cruise and all that, but I used to pass all of them. And my parties were epic when I was playing in LA. So I plan on bringing another epic party back to LA.
How is the LA culture going to be represented throughout the carnival and the food and the games and the performers?
I mean, I think it's going to be a whole bunch of people there that, just want to have a real good time. Listen, Super Bowl weekend. A lot of people save up all the money they have to get to the Super Bowl weekend, right? So Friday night, you arrive on Thursday, you get your information. What's going on Friday? Okay, Shaq's having a party on Friday. Go there Friday, wear yourself out. Saturday, chill, relax, Melrose shopping, and then Sunday, wake up early, go to the game, and then Monday, get a flight back home, and then it's back to work on Tuesday. I want to add to that. I don't want to be like, man, I paid all this money and I went to the party and they just stood around and it was a girl in there. Her name was Madison Brodsky and she didn't even talk to me. She was so beautiful. She had 20 security guard around her. I don't want people to be like that. I want people to be like, I had a great time.
It's always a great time at Shaq's Fun House. I'm curious, why did you pick Lil Wayne and Zed as your performers this year?
I wanted to pick my main man Snoop. He's one of my best friends, but of course he couldn't do it because he's going to be doing the halftime event. But what you mean, why did I pick Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne is the greatest to ever do it. So is Zed, and so is Diplo. And I may do a little something that day, and we're just gonna have a great time.
As an athlete, I'm also curious about your thoughts on this whole Antonio Brown situation, because I really think it widens the conversation regarding how leagues are dealing with athletes who might be suffering from a mental illness. So what are your thoughts on that?
In this era we live in, there's memes and there's a whole bunch of people making judgment and doing this and doing that. One thing I'm not going to do is bash the brother. I've never met him. I know at one point he was one of the top athletes in the world. Something happened that we don't know about. I don't know if it's injured or not injured, but I'm not going to bash him and say he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have did that. We all know he needed, something to get to 333,000 and did this many yards and that. And, for him to just walk away how he did, I don't really have a comment. I just, I know he's a father. He has wonderful children, so I just wish him well in that aspect of his life. Because, if we just had ESPN and TNT and all that, I would probably give you a better answer. But I'm online and there's so many memes of them just people and their opinions and everybody talking about and doing this. I don't like to be like everybody else. So I'm gonna take a different approach, a positive approach. And if you look at what the great Tom Brady said, Tom said, I care about him. Just hope he gets the help he needs. That right there, because Tom's the greatest in the world. He has G20 classification. So he only got G14. Tom has that presidential, congressional classification. He could have went off, but he said, you know what? I love this guy. I care about this guy, and he did, because he went to bat for this guy. And a lot of people are saying, Tom went to you. I can't believe he did that to Tom. But something is going on. We don't know until we hear from him. But I'm going to be with Tom on this one. We love this guy. We care about this guy. We want to see him get help.
It is a really interesting story because we don't know what happened, and we do want him to get whatever help he may or may not need. There's a lot of rumors that he was injured, like you said, and that's why he refused to play. Did you ever have a situation where you were injured but still expected to play?
All the time. And I took shots, and I can't walk now from it. But, my game, a lot of sacrifices had to be made for me to get to the point where I'm at. So those stories will never come up, and I'm never complaining. Because as long as I can do this is all that matters.
Absolutely. And on a more fun note, I heard you have a song coming out.
Yes, me and my man, Steve Aoki, went to his studio one day, his lovely house. He tried to make me jump in the pool that's 18 feet deep, and we just had some fun.
How did it feel to get into the studio?
I mean, it was great. It was fun because I wanted to do something different, but then when I got there, it wasn't quite working. And Steve was so nice. He didn't want to tell me like, Shaq, this is terrible. And I saw it in his face, and I was like, turn the beat on and let me show you how Shaq really does. And it took me 5 minutes. He's like, oh my God, I don't believe it. I'm like, I've been doing this. It just because he had sent me the beat, and then I was doing something I was trying to, but it just wasn't hitting right. And then like when we got there, like I could tell the look on his face, he was gone. And then he was like, Shaq, I was like, I got it. Erase all that. Watch this.
I am so excited to hear it. Are you going to play it at Shaq's Funhouse this year?
I sure will.
All right. Well, we are so excited. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Brodsky.
Stephen A., we've been talking a lot about the Philly Nets, but tonight on ESPN, the Lakers host the Suns as well, both looking for their first win. And it's time for some GOAT talk. With that being said, earlier this week, Shaquille O'Neal had some interesting comments about LeBron for the LA Times, saying this: I know what he's doing. Championships are great, but he's trying to pass up Kareem. That's what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing, because now if you pass Kareem up, there ain't no talk about who the best player ever is. He's got 4 rings, and he becomes the highest scorer in the NBA history. He's the best ever, and there's nothing you can say. Okay, Stephen A. So Shaq says that if LeBron becomes the highest scorer in NBA history, he will be the GOAT. And currently, LeBron needs just under 3,000 points to pass Kareem. So, Stephen A., can LeBron go down as the greatest of all time?
No, not to me. And let me be very clear in addressing Shaquille O'Neal, my little big brother, who I love dearly. That brother knows when he's saying something ignorant, and he just did. And he did it on purpose. I'm going to get him here. And let me tell you why. Because based on what Shaquille O'Neal's description of it, Kendrick Perkins, is, I guess we can say Karl Malone's the best, is the second best player of all time. Karl Malone retired as the second greatest player in NBA history. I mean, that's what we doing now? That's what we doing? It's about points now? That's what we doing? No. It's not just about points. It's about the chip. And it's not just about the chip. It's about the road you travel to get to that point. And where people are missing my point, and I know Kendrick Perkins disagrees, but that's okay. You know, because I understand how phenomenal LeBron is. He's on the Mount Rushmore. I got him number 2 all time in the history of basketball. I mean, stop the presses, Kendrick Perkins. I don't know if you noticed, but it's an incredible insult to the people who love LeBron James. How dare me say he's number 2 all time? I mean, I just sliced his career. I've just discredited him. I've just said, yo, you a scrub. You're horrible. I got him number 2 in the history of basketball since it started being played in 1946 and became the NBA in 1950. I got him number 2 all time. And you would think I've crucified this man, but so be it. Here's the deal. I saw what Jordan had to endure to get to where he was and to stay there. And the NBA game was very different back then, significantly rougher, and the road to prosperity was very, very much harder, okay? And that is what stands out in my mind. To be 6-0 in NBA Finals, all right? 6 NBA Finals MVPs, unblemished in championship round competition. Would have won 8-0 if he hadn't retired after his father passed away. In championship rounds, completely owned the entire decade without a blemish. I'm telling you right now, to me, because of that, and because of what I saw from the Bad Boy Pistons, because of what I saw from the Knicks, because of the Cleveland Cavaliers with Mark Price, Larry Nance, Matt Doherty, and those boys, because of all of those teams, the Phoenix Suns, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton in Seattle, Barkley and Marley and Kevin Johnson in Phoenix, and all of that other stuff. What I saw is what I saw. And to me, LeBron can't eclipse that. I'm going to always have MJ number one if the question is whether or not LeBron James or him is number one. It's going to always be MJ for me.
You know why? You know why? Because as you get older, like my grandmother, right, 86 years old, and I go to her house and, you know, sometimes she does things that aggravate me. And I have to remind myself that the old saying, old people are what, Stephen A? They're stuck in their ways.
Stuck in their ways.
Okay?
Yes,
and you know what? And you and I have been having great conversation on here, and we're going to continue to have great conversation today because I'm not going to let you raise my blood pressure up. I'm not about to sit up here and dive into, you know, how much pressure LeBron James had out of probably the most pressure out of any athlete in sports history. I'm not about to go into that today. I'm not about to go into how you just talked about Shaquille O'Neal saying the points and passing up Kareem and left out the fact that he said that he had 4 titles when you tried to make your Karl Malone comparison. I'm not going to even point that out today. But this is what I will tell you.
Kareem has 6 titles, but go ahead.
No. I'm saying you said that's what we're doing now when you were talking about Karl Malone.
Got it.
But Shaq said that he has 4 titles. I think Shaq is telling the truth. And look, here's a problem. This is the problem that I have when you come on here talking about these different eras, okay? I was in that era. I may look way older than LeBron James, and I understand I done gained 70 pounds of retirement weight, and I get all that, right? But we came into the NBA at the same time, where he had to go against a Paul Pierce, a Joe Johnson, a Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. The list goes on. And I don't want to come on here and discredit Thunder Dan, but do you know what LeBron James would have did to Thunder Dan or Jeff Hornacek?
Without question.
Or any of those guys. And I don't even want to bring up my guy Kevin Johnson because he just opened up this fabulous restaurant right next door to the ESPN studio, that soul food spot that I went to this past couple of days.
I didn't see that. You got a soul food spot there?
Look.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's
right on the corner.
Yes, right on the corner. I eat there every day. The oxtails are off the chain, by the way. So listen, here's the thing.
So Shaq, I'm sorry.
Stephen A., we're starting to see multiple players come out and say this. You know, Shaq done said it. We hear the great Magic Johnson starting to lean that way. We hear other former players starting to say the same thing. Sooner or later, you're going to get on board with us, and you're going to realize